So today we're going to be taking a look at the new STX Magnet 2K. This is STX's latest defense and LSM offering. Effortless ground ball pickups, they say. Optimal scoop stiffness for poke checks and lifts. A tight face shape to control the ball in transition, and a forward-facing scoop for precision and power. So when they say a forward-facing scoop, it's kind of when this scoop returns here. So you'll see it kind of kicks back up, doesn't it? So nice and easy. Imagine that on a pole. It's going to be pretty effortless on the ground ball, and the speed scoop from STX has been a great scoop for ground balls anyway. Is a stiff head. Does feel very stiff. Feels stiff in. I mean, that's kind of still pretty stiff, but it feels stiff this way, definitely for those pokes. I'm going to say that's a lot to do with this new strut here. So you can see there, if I just put it against my shirt there, this kind of wishbone. Somebody has referred to it as a wishbone shaped strut. I'm not sure if that's something STX are referring it to as, but it is kind of like a wishbone there. But that strut is going to give a little bit more strength, I think, in the lower part of the head. And certainly, you know, for those pokes, it's just to make the whole thing a little bit stiffer. So that's this interesting little design feature there on the head. Have seen this wishbone kind of shape strut on an Epic head, if you remember Epic. They're sadly no longer with us, but that's something we saw on some of their heads before. Does feel a lot stiffer. I do have a Hammer 1K here to show you, so I don't think face shape wise, maybe the magnet is a little bit tighter. It is a little bit tighter of face shape. When you put the two faces together, you can tell. When they're alongside each other, there's not an awful lot in it. But when they're directly on top of each other, it's marginally tighter, I would say. So yeah, it tends to be maybe a little bit better for those LSMs. Weight-wise, it's about 5.5 ounces, so you know, not particularly heavy for a defensive head, and not too dissimilar from the Hammer 1K. Styling-wise, it's got a couple of cool little features. You know, nothing really performance-wise, but this kind of integrated ball stop area, if you see it there, that's pretty cool. And this kind of jewel that goes up into that, you know, ball shape, ball stop shape, which is quite cool. But essentially, I think it goes to show ball stops don't really do anything, doesn't it? Because that it's actually sunk down in the plastic. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Short throat again for a defense head. Last couple of defense heads from STX all seem to have these short throats, just, you know, losing a little bit of plastic there. One thing I did find a little bit kind of, not that it you know, changed the stringing much. I just found it's a bit kind of weird. There's a little lip here that kind of kicks back on itself here on the bottom strings. Let me show you a couple that we've strung. So this is actually STX's stringing pattern it gives you for it, which was nice and easy to follow, you know. But I'm not sure we'll be stringing that many to this pattern, but you know, for those people who are a little bit less experienced stringing, certainly the fact that, you know, a lot of the brands now are giving you some information on how to string the new head you've just bought is really helpful. So that's the pattern that STX give you a little guide for. Very easy to follow, okay, for those of you a little bit newer to stringing, you know. So here's one I've done, which will be going up on the site. This one's got the 10 diamond hex mesh from Mesh Dynasty in it. So it's a nice cool look to it. Strung to the inside from here downwards. Again, pretty simple pattern, nothing too crazy. But stringing wise, certainly a stick that's not any more difficult to string than anything else. So if you're looking for a new D head, it's definitely worth checking this out. You know, strength wise, again, you know, it's definitely got that strength. Feels like it's going to hold up. I did put one of these up on the pole, actually shot on the goal here in the store with this one. We've got the shop here is all turfed out. Picked up a load of ground balls. Yeah, just as I say, it is very easy to pick a ground ball up with this stick or this head. So if you are, an LSM, I don't think you have any problems picking the ball up with this, coming off the wing or picking those ground balls up in a defensive scrum. So definitely worth checking out. And a good offering from STX. The one thing I will say, which is kind of not a surprise because we knew it was coming, but you will notice that the prices on all the heads are going up. All the things going on in the world, it's not really a big surprise that some costs have gone up. But just to make you aware that you will be paying a little bit more for an unstrung or a strung head from here on in. But definitely worth checking out the Magnet 2K. And look forward to seeing what else is going to be coming out in the 2K line from STX.